They're fucking Mexicans. They work for the Colombian guy at the back there. He's the boss.
Mexicans working for Colombians. I don't know a lot about this stuff, but I didn't know. I thought they was at war. I thought they were rivals with each other.
And they're buzzing because I can do $100 crack rock in one breath.
Hold on. Stop. Now, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure, I would say I'm 80-90% sure that I've heard Sean tell this story on another live or something, and the story was different. It was that people was shocked that he could do $100 rock in one hit. You lot can let me know in the comments if I'm wrong or right. If I'm wrong, you know me, I'll admit it straight away. But like I said, I'm pretty sure when he told the story on a live or something, it was him everybody was excited about that could do $100 rock in one hit. Which one is it? Is it you or Wildman, or are you just telling someone else's story and you've made out like it's someone else's or it's your own or whatever it is that you're doing? Because like I said, I am pretty sure. But you lot find out and let me know.
You said you had, was it £500,000, couple of £1 million? Was that a turnover you was having, or?
Yeah, that was my commission, yeah.
Like I said, in the 90s, if you was getting $500,000 a year, that's good money. I already said to you a minute ago, it's 41.5 grand a month, just over 10 grand a week. That's crazy money. That ain't nothing to be sniffed at.
What, you personally, 2 million?
That was just my commission was like $500,000 a year. The turnover was in the millions.
So what was you earning at the parties?
That's a good question. I would love to know that.
What was I at the parties?
Yeah.
Yes, Sean. How much was you earning out of the parties? It's not a hard question, mate.
That was my commission in the stock market trade.
We didn't ask you about the commission in the stock market trade. You fully heard the question, Sean. How much was you earning out of the parties?
I understand that.
I'm at the parties then. So, the biggest one we did...
Not interested in about the biggest one you did. I want to know how much you earned from the party.
It wasn't like LA, we got hundreds of thousands of people.
This guy is just dancing and wriggling around the questions.
The biggest one we did, we had 10,000 people.
10,000 people at a party. That is some huge numbers. I can't lie. That's like festival type stuff. Probably even bigger maybe.
You had a 10,000 people party over there?
Yeah, on Bumblebee Ranch.
So you still ain't answered the question about how much you was making at the parties, but you're able to tell us where you held the party. I'm sensing a lot of wriggling right now.
That big old cowboy ranch. I put 100 grand into that one.
Is it me, or is he avoiding this question? Because I'm still here waiting like a mug to hear how much this guy made out of the parties. We never asked you how much you invested into the party. We asking you how much did you make from it?
But my priority wasn't to make money off the tickets and the water. My priority was to make money off the ecstasy.
What? This guy's lost already. You didn't intend to make money off the party, only off the pills. I don't know about you lot and I don't know about Sean, but what I can tell you is this. Me, if I'm setting up a business, I'm trying to make money or revenue from every aspect of the business. Otherwise, why do it?
And we brought this little car. And,
He still hasn't answered the question about how much money he was making off these parties. Go on though, Sean. Keep going.
we hid it in the shadows, this little beat-up car, and all of the people who were selling ecstasy from me. In the beginning, we were just like filing it in sports bags, the money. But in the end, they were just throwing all the money in the car, and the car was just filled.
Again, it seems like I'm going to be saying this a lot. He still ain't answered the question. He's now proceeded to tell us about filling up a car with the money, but still ain't told us how much money he was making from it. I think it's because he doesn't know, because it wasn't really happening the way he's describing it was happening. So he's trying to figure out a number in his head while distracting us with nonsense about other stuff, rather than actually answering the question. Filling money up in a car. So who was protecting the car then? You just filled money up in the car and left it. You didn't have an office. You didn't have a safe. You didn't have a room that you could put the money in, a house. A safe house, a stash house, whatever you want to call it. All this big time stuff he was doing, 10,000 people at the rave, thousands of pills, and you never had nowhere to put the money, so you were just putting it in the car. Something don't seem right, I gotta be honest.
Who was you working with over there then?
Working with, in terms of supplying, who was I getting my ecstasy from?
It's just a simple question, who was you working with? You must have been working with someone. All this stuff you're saying, you couldn't be doing on your own, solo dolo, impossible. But like I said, I'm only 2 minutes in, and I'm already noticing that every question that Marvin asks him that might be a little bit tough for him to answer, he answers it with a question, which leads me to believe, he's answering with a question because he's really trying to rack his brain to think of the right answer to give. And if it's the truth, you wouldn't have to rack your brain to give it, you would just give the answer. And it's making you come across as a real wriggler, I can't lie. But I can see why you might have got that one a little bit confused, so I'll let that one slide.
When the New Mexican Mafia got arrested, I didn't even know who they were until they got arrested.
So you're working with these people and you don't know the people that you're working with. There's more holes in this story already than a string vest. And he's only just started.
And all their mugshots were headline news. They said these are the heads of the New Mexican Mafia, the most powerful, violent criminal organization in Arizona.
Sounds good. It really does. Sounds all pretty the way you're saying it. But it just sounds like a distraction. Sounds like a distraction for you to not have to answer the question that you're being asked. It's just more wriggling again. Who gets involved with mafia cartel type people and doesn't know who they're dealing with? Pretty sure the first thing they would have done was let you know exactly who they was when you was working with them. But you only found out when it came out in the news. Go away, mate.
And who's your closest ally there?
I can't name any names.
Why?
Exactly that, Marvin. Why? Why can't he name any names? You know why he can't? Because I'm starting to believe it's not real. That's why you can't name any names. Because they don't exist.
Well, fucking people will get killed.
So they've been nicked.
Yeah, Sean, people will get killed if you name names. And this was from when? 20 years ago. I'm starting to see the pattern now. I'm starting to see the pattern with this guy. But carry on, Sean.
It's been nicked. You've been nicked.
No, it doesn't work like that.
Don't it? It don't work like that. I'm pretty sure it does.
It doesn't work like that.
What doesn't work like that?
G-Dog has spoke to me and told me exactly how far I can go.
G-Dog. G-Dog spoke to him and told... All of a sudden now, G-Dog spoke to him and told him how far he can and can't go with this story. What a coincidence, Sean.
He said he can get killed.
Oh, so you're doing it to protect G-Dog, are you? Okay.
And all the names we've used in our stories have been changed.
I think a better one to say would have been all the names you used in your story have been made up. Because that's what it sounds like to me. All the names have been changed. This guy is unbelievable. 2.5 minutes in. An old Shawnee boy can't handle the pressure, boy. He can't handle the heat. He looks like he's cracking under it. Now I understand what that nervous, weird, kinky laugh was about at the start.
This is a serious mafia ongoing organization. They don't fuck around. You name names. They'll send people out here for me.
Really, Sean? 20 odd years later, however long it is later, they're going to send people out here for you? Or is that just another way for you to say, actually, I can't answer that because it's not real? So you feel by saying something as dramatic as I'll get killed gets you off the hook from having to make your story sound a bit more believable? Like, I don't get it. If the story is that deep and that sensitive, why even say it to begin with if you ain't willing to explain the whole thing? Now, I get it. Sometimes, in some cases, in some circumstances, you might have to switch it up a little bit. If people are still alive or whatever, they're not in jail or whatever, however you want to put it. But to me, it just sounds like a tactic that you use so that you don't have to answer the question, because I don't believe that the story is true. Just like you never answered the question that I'm still waiting for the answer for of how much money you made from the raves. But carry on.
You reckon?
Oh, yeah. I think what it is, Marvin. I mean, I just look like a nerdy little business graduate, and that's all I am.
I would agree, to some extent.
I never claimed to be a gangster.
Well, indirectly, you kind of did. You talk about the New Mexican Mafia and pills and hundreds of thousands of pounds, or dollars, should I say, sorry. That's gangster stuff. So indirectly, you are saying you was a gangster, or you was a part of these gangsters. But carry on.
Have you got photos of all the apartments you stayed in and parties and things like that?
I didn't allow photos and didn't allow the use of phones.
Yes, this guy gets better and better. It sounds like a movie. It sounds like this guy's watched way too many films now. Who are you? I never allowed the use of phones and photos and all this stuff. And you think you could control 10,000 people? You think you could control 1,000 people? 2,000 people? Impossible. You never allowed the use of it. What another great coincidence that just fits so perfectly.